They said that you were too wishy-washy. Do you have a reply for them?
The president didn't find weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, so he's really turned his campaign into a weapon of mass deception. And the result is that you've been bombarded with advertisements suggesting that I've changed a position on this or that or the other.
Mr. President, minute and a half.
Charlie, thank you, and thank our panelists. He changed positions. Now, I can see why people think that he changes position quite often, because he does. You know, for a while, he was a strong supporter of getting rid of Saddam Hussein. He saw the wisdom until the Democrat primary came along. And Howard Dean, the anti-war candidate, began to gain on him. And he changed positions. I don't see how you can lead this country in a time of war, in a time of uncertainty, if you change your mind because of politics. Be consistent when you're the president. There's a lot of pressures, and you got to be firm. And we all thought there was weapons there, Robin. My opponent thought there was weapons there. That's why he called him a grave threat. I wasn't happy when we found out there wasn't weapons, and we've got an intelligence group together to figure out why. But Saddam Hussein was a unique threat, and the world is better off without him in power. And my opponent's plans lead me to conclude that Saddam Hussein would still be in power, and the world would be more dangerous.
World. They worked. He didn't have weapons of mass destruction. The world is more dangerous today. The world is more dangerous today because the president didn't make the right judgments. Now, the president wishes that I had changed my mind. He wants you to believe that, because he can't come here and tell you that he's created new jobs for America. He's lost jobs. He can't come here and tell you that he's created health care for Americans, because we got 5 million Americans have lost their health care, 96,000 of them right here in Missouri. He can't come here and tell you that he's left No Child Behind, because he didn't fund No Child Left Behind. So what does he do? He's trying to attack me. He wants you to believe that I can't be president. The goal of the sanctions was not to remove Saddam Hussein, it was to remove the weapons of mass destruction. And Mr. President, just yesterday, the Dulfer report told you and the whole world they worked. He didn't have weapons of mass destruction, Mr. President. That was the objective. And if we'd used smart diplomacy, we could have saved $200 billion and an invasion of Iraq, and right now Osama bin Laden might be in jail or dead. That's the war against terror.
Along this line. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes in this world you make unpopular decisions because you think they're right. We'll continue to reach out. Listen, there's 30 nations involved in Iraq, some 40 nations involved in Afghanistan. People love America. Sometimes they don't like the decisions made by America. But I don't think you want a president who tries to become popular and does the wrong thing.
Senator Kerry, the U.S. is preparing a new Iraq.
You see that every night on television. There's chaos in Iraq. While Iran is moving towards nuclear weapons, some 37 tons of what they call yellow cake, the stuff they use to make enriched uranium, while they're doing that, North Korea has moved from 1 bomb maybe, to 4 to 7 bombs. For 2 years, the president didn't even engage with North Korea, did nothing at all, while it was growing more dangerous.
Of course we've been involved with Iran. I fully understand the threat. And that's why we're doing what he suggested we do. Get the Brits, the Germans, and the French to go make it very clear to the Iranians that if they expect to be a party to the world, to give up their nuclear ambitions. We've been doing that. I hear there's rumors on the internets that we're going to have...
Kerry, minute and a half.
Daniel, I don't support a draft, but absolutely, yes. Right into the camera, yes. I am not going to raise taxes. I have a tax cut.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a record. He's been there for 20 years. You can run, but you can't hide. He voted 98 times to raise taxes. I mean, these aren't make-up figures, and so people are going to have to look at the record. This is an issue that divides America.
But like Nancy Reagan and so many other people. That's the nature of the human spirit. I think it is respecting life to reach for that cure. I think it is respecting life to do it in an ethical way. And the president's chosen a policy that makes it impossible for our scientists to do that. I want the future, and I think we have to grab it.
Mr. President, minute and a half.
Embryonic stem cell, I'd made the decision we wouldn't spend any more money beyond the 70 lines, 22 of which are now in action. Because science is important, but so's ethics. So's balancing life. To destroy life, to save life is one of the real ethical dilemmas that we face.